Good evening. Tonight we bring you a story that is reverberating across continents, shaking the very foundations of both the sporting world and international relations. The news has left millions stunned, and its effects are already being felt far beyond the pitch. In an unprecedented move, FIFA has made a decision that has sent shockwaves through the global community. The United States, once set to co-host the 2026 World Cup, has been stripped of its hosting rights. The tournament will now be held exclusively in Canada, a development that has sparked intense debate and emotion. The announcement came directly from FIFA's Zurich headquarters earlier today. As the news broke, scenes of disbelief and heartbreak swept across the United States, while Canadian fans erupted in celebration. The contrast could not be more striking. One nation's dream dashed, another's unexpectedly realized. Soccer officials, athletes, and fans alike are scrambling to process the implications. For many, this was supposed to be a historic moment for North American soccer, a chance to showcase the sport's growth and unity across borders. Now, uncertainty and disappointment hang heavy in the air. The ramifications are enormous. Not only does this decision affect the future of soccer in North America, but it also raises questions about the stability and fairness of international sporting events. Analysts warn that the fallout could reshape the landscape of global sports for years to come. For the United States, this was meant to be a crowning achievement, a chance to unite the nation and inspire a new generation of athletes. Now, stadiums stand empty, fans are left in shock, and the promise of a once-in-a-lifetime event has vanished overnight. Billions of dollars invested in stadium upgrades, infrastructure, and local economies are now at risk. Cities that had prepared for an influx of visitors and global attention must now grapple with the economic and emotional fallout of this abrupt cancellation. Around the world, viewers are glued to their screens, watching as this controversy unfolds. The decision has sparked heated debates about FIFA's governance, transparency, and the future of international competitions. Many are left wondering, what led to such a dramatic reversal, and what does it mean for the integrity of the sport? Tonight we take you inside the story, exploring the reasons behind this seismic shift, the reactions from those most affected, and the profound impact this will have on the world of soccer and beyond. Stay with us as we unravel the details of this global shockwave. To truly understand the significance of today's breaking news, we need to look back at the journey that brought us here. The story of the United 2026 bid is one of ambition, collaboration, and ultimately, unexpected turmoil. Let's revisit the origins of the United 2026 bid, a historic partnership between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This unprecedented alliance was formed with a shared vision to bring the world's biggest sporting event to North America, uniting three nations under the banner of football. In 2018, after months of intense lobbying and global anticipation, the United bid triumphed at the FIFA Congress. The trio outpaced Morocco, securing the right to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The victory was celebrated as a win for unity and cooperation, promising a tournament on a scale never seen before. The United States was set to host 60 out of 80 matches, leveraging its vast infrastructure and experience. Massive stadiums, modern transportation, and a passionate fan base were expected to deliver record-breaking attendance and profits. The bid promised not just a sporting spectacle, but a financial windfall for FIFA and the host nations. For FIFA, the United 2026 bid represented a safe, lucrative choice. The financial projections were staggering, with billions in revenue anticipated from ticket sales, sponsorships, and broadcasting rights. It seemed like a win-win for everyone involved. Yet beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Disagreements over commercial rights, sponsorship deals, and legal liabilities began to strain the partnership. Each country had its own priorities and business models, making negotiations increasingly complex. FIFA, seeking greater control over the tournament's commercial aspects, clashed with the US and its partners, who were determined to protect their own interests and legal frameworks. The differences became more pronounced as deadlines approached. What began as quiet, behind-the-scenes discussions soon escalated into a full-blown crisis. Negotiations stalled, trust eroded, and the once promising agreement began to unravel, ultimately leading to its collapse. The narrative of seamless collaboration was shattered, exposing deep internal fractures. The dream of a united North American World Cup gave way to disappointment and uncertainty. The United States had previously hosted the 1994 World Cup, an event that sparked a soccer revolution and led to the birth of Major League Soccer. Hopes were high that 2026 would surpass even those achievements. The 2026 tournament was expected to be the biggest in history, with more teams, more matches, and more fans than ever before. Cities across North America were preparing for a festival of football unlike any other. Now, that vision has unraveled. The dream of a seamless, high-revenue event has faded, leaving behind uncertainty and regret for what could have been. The collapse of the original agreement marks a dramatic turning point in international sports, a cautionary tale of how even the most ambitious collaborations can falter when unity gives way to discord. FIFA's announcement from Zurich was cold and shocking. President Gianni Infantino cited unresolved operational guarantees as the reason. The US failed to provide federal assurances and legal frameworks. Key issues included security costs, visa-free travel, and tax exemptions. US government resistance created a legal impasse deemed unacceptable by FIFA. Infantino praised Canada for meeting all hosting requirements. The decision frames Canada as a more compliant partner, isolating the US. This move highlights FIFA's power and the challenges of hosting major events. In the heart of Washington, D.C., the reaction to FIFA's announcement was nothing short of explosive. Within minutes, the corridors of power buzzed with disbelief and anger as news spread through the Capitol like wildfire. The sense of shock was palpable, with government officials scrambling to respond to what they saw as an unprecedented snub on the world stage. The White House wasted no time in issuing a strongly worded statement, condemning FIFA's decision as not only arbitrary, but also a betrayal of the spirit of international cooperation. Officials accused FIFA of acting in bad faith, questioning the transparency and fairness of the process. Across Capitol Hill, politicians from both parties united in outrage. Lawmakers called for immediate hearings, vowing to launch a full-scale investigation into FIFA's conduct and demanding accountability. Outside, protesters gathered, their chants echoing the frustration felt by millions of American soccer fans. At an emotional press conference, U.S. Soccer President Cindy Parlow-Cone described the decision as a devastating blow to American soccer. Her voice trembled as she spoke of the years of preparation and hope that had suddenly been dashed. Cone highlighted the immense challenges of navigating the complex intersection of U.S. laws and FIFA's ever-changing demands. She emphasized the federation's commitment to transparency and fairness, but admitted that the process had been fraught with obstacles from the very beginning. Meanwhile, just north of the border, the mood could not have been more different. In cities across Canada, fans poured into the streets, waving flags and celebrating what many called a once-in-a-lifetime achievement. The air was electric with excitement and pride. In Ottawa, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau delivered a triumphant speech, declaring that Canada was ready to welcome the world. He spoke passionately about the country's diversity, unity, and the opportunity to showcase Canadian hospitality on a global stage. For the Canadian Soccer Association, this was a moment of transformation. Once considered a junior partner in North American soccer, the organization now found itself at the forefront, leading preparations for the world's biggest sporting event. Victor Montagliani, a key figure in Canadian soccer, spoke with optimism and confidence. He emphasized the opportunities ahead, promising that Canada would rise to the challenge and deliver an unforgettable tournament. The contrast between the two nations' reactions could not be more dramatic. While American officials and fans grappled with disappointment and anger, Canadians embraced the moment with open arms, their celebrations a testament to national pride and hope for the future. Across Canada, the sense of unity and excitement was unmistakable. Fans, young and old, came together to celebrate, their faces painted red and white, their voices raised in songs of joy. The entire nation seemed to rally behind its team and its new role on the world stage. In stark contrast, American soccer fans were left reeling. In stadiums and living rooms across the country, supporters struggled to process the news, their dreams of hosting the tournament slipping away. The sense of loss and frustration was overwhelming. This decision marks a pivotal turning point for both countries. For the United States, it is a moment of reckoning and reflection. For Canada, it is a chance to step into the spotlight and redefine its place in the world of soccer. The economic consequences are staggering. The US faces a monumental loss, with billions in projected revenue gone. Cities like Kansas City and Seattle face financial voids. Planned infrastructure spending and private investment are in jeopardy. Conversely, Canada wins an unexpected economic lottery. The impact could exceed $10 billion for the Canadian economy. Cities like Toronto and Vancouver will see a massive boost. However, Canada must rapidly scale up preparations. The short-term financial burden on Canadian taxpayers will be substantial. The decision creates vastly different financial futures for the two nations. For American soccer fans, today's news is a gut punch. The dream of a home World Cup is snatched away. Social media is flooded with messages of anger and sadness. The disappointment is acute for diverse communities. Celebrations in cities like Miami and Los Angeles are cancelled. Canadian fans, however, are in euphoric disbelief. The entire spectacle is coming to them, igniting excitement. The decision elevates soccer's status in Canada. Fans scramble to understand ticketing and hosting details. The shift in fortune alters the fan experience dramatically. To understand this chaos, we consult sports analyst David Goldblatt. Goldblatt sees this as a classic FIFA power play. FIFA, under Infantino, asserts its authority over the tournament. The decision reflects shifting power dynamics in global football. FIFA no longer needs to compromise with Western democracies. They can turn to more compliant partners like Canada. Alienating the US market is a calculated risk. FIFA bets on American love for the World Cup. This sets a precedent for future hosting negotiations. Democratic nations must be prepared to meet FIFA's demands. The era of partnership may be over, replaced by ultimatums. The decision marks a turning point in international sports governance. Canada faces the monumental task of hosting the tournament. The logistical challenge is immense, with new host cities needed. Montreal and Edmonton are prime candidates. Stadiums require significant upgrades to meet FIFA standards. The financial burden is a major hurdle for Canada. Security and infrastructure costs will be substantial. Canada must recruit and train a massive workforce. Despite challenges, there's optimism and a can-do spirit. Canada has a track record of hosting major events. The world watches as Canada prepares for this historic opportunity. The world of football is turned upside down. The decision reshapes the landscape of international sports. For the US, it's a moment of reckoning. The challenge is to channel disappointment into soccer's growth. For Canada, it's a defining moment with immense responsibility. Success would cement Canada's place on the world stage. The story is far from over, with key questions remaining. The beautiful game shows its capacity for drama once again. The decision marks a new chapter in world football. Thank you for watching.